I create, and I don't only sew and cut, and I like to try anything that's new, that's I can imagine. And faut savoir ça. J'ai toujours le petit coquille qui est là, et la photo que vous m'aviez amenée. Ah oui, mais ça c'était pas I built it really like, I started with this little one, the first one, and then I built it like a cake or and it can place it like that and form the circles or just let it go that way. I tried to give it this movement, and it was I used de la corde. Yes, and when they come in the shop, they go right to the hats. It's what attracts them the most. Oui. Vous voulez le voir?
Oui, c'est pour le cognac.
Comme ça, on aura fait le tour. J'ai en noir également, velours frappé noir. Ah, cette teinte est belle aussi. Ouais.
Bonjour. Allez-tu voir la dame avant de l'abîmer parce que tu me fais peur.
Merci. My mother was a sewer. So yeah, my grandmother too. Yeah. And then I didn't study with my mother. I worked a little bit with her to help her when I was a child. But I saw her making clothes, and I was already attracted with the movement. I like to draw about dance, and I like to draw with thinking of the movement myself, as if I would dance myself. My idea is to dance and drawing dance together. And I'll show you some drawings I made from a dancer. Very quick, with very quick lines. There too, we can see the tension with the foot, the face, and I wanted to follow the dancer with my pencil. Oui, ça peut être un petit peu resserré ici. Mais bon, c'est... And it's the first things I sold. I started to sold. Then I sold on the markets. I lived 10 years in kind of community. At this time I didn't work then, and then I realized I wanted to go quick then, because I had the feeling I lost some time there. Usually I use some chalk to draw around the pattern, but now it's with that model it's so precise that I use a pencil like that. At the beginning in all this series I called it Les jambes à mon cou, and it means, when you translate it word by word, it means legs at your neck, escape. And then the idea went on in another way. It was also, it had to do with the dance and movement. It was not only escape. These are the drawings I made to prepare a show, and it was all about legs. Oh, I drawn this in the train. And I like to draw in the train and with the movement. It's just very quick drawings, always around this idea. The idea was that these legs would suggest a movement of the dress with dancing and... Oui, oui, parce que Vania c'est mon domicile, mais Barjac est le lieu où je commercialise. Voilà. D'accord, je vous en prie, au revoir. I'll show you the legs I drew first to make this model. I draw some legs, and then I put them on the mannequin, and then I built the dress around the legs with the material. Also, so I made the drawing of the legs first, and then I put them on the mannequin. I studied the movement, the direction. I will use. This looks like that. I wanted that the movement is in diagonal, in the bias. Then I used material just to complete what's the parts left. It's a bit like a sculpture. The most important remembers I have is the sound of the, for instance, scissors on the table. The sounds like that. It's difficult for me to repair the lines because it doesn't look like a dress. I'm always looking for materials, special textures or colors or something. I came first for holidays in Ardèche, and then I met a friend, a boyfriend there, and that's why I came and lived there. Very often I'm told, yes, I should go to Paris and I should have much more success than here. Very often I draw first the idea, and I find material that can be adapted to the drawing. This was a material I used because it's the color of the skin, and I wanted that the clothes would look like a kind of powder on the skin. Sometimes I must change my idea in the time because the material will react in a surprising way, something I didn't expect. And then I have to change because then the clothes will take life by itself, and I have to adapt my idea. I never know what I will buy, and the material sellers where I buy, now they know me, and they know the way I do with this, and they let me look as long as I need, and always looking at the places that you can't reach. Usually I'm always looking everywhere. I like natural materials most. But sometimes when they are, I can also buy synthetic when they are interesting for something, and otherwise for colors, I like I've always liked red, dark red, Bordeaux, like the wine Bordeaux.
Salut. Salut Luc. Ça va? Oui. Oui. Oui, c'est pas mal, hein? Ah oui. C'est un petit café. D'accord.
Co, it comes from Co, because my younger brother always calls me Co, and then I added the ho, because it sounds, for me it sounds in a nice way, and it's also like calling somebody Co, and something like that. Riteke? Toc toc! Riteke! Hello! Riteke, she came first in holidays, I think 2 times in France before
And it looks like it was painted
I met
on
her.
that side, or
And she was
it looks
making
like there's a paper over.
an academy of art in Holland at this time. And then she asked me if I could accept her as a student to work with me for 4 months. And it's this knitting you used? Oh yeah.
It's the most simple knittings, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, you never saw it?
No, I didn't. You talked about
Yeah.
it to me.
It's not finished. I have to put feet on, and so I worked with Colette. I saw her working. What I learned a lot is that she stays every time on her personality. It's always Colette, 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 and that I find very strong, and that I appreciate. Or I learned something of that.
With the last student I worked with, I could feel that we were working very hard sometimes, but there was much pleasure in our work, because we could spend time to laugh, and I think I need that in my work, and that's why she was also very glad that it was possible to work in that way. I wanted to make clothes about tea time, because of the time I spent there outside with persons passing by and drinking tea with me at 5. I like to have the opinions of some friends also working in an artistic way, and it's something new, because before I worked alone, and oui, c'est ça. Ouais. Il suffit de pas raconter ce qui s'est passé en coulisses. But I like to try all kinds of techniques. And it's unlimited with clothes.
Non, enfin oui, si on regarde vraiment, oui. Non, mais je ne sais pas si... Non, voilà. Si ça marche pas.
Voilà, mieux. C'est mieux, ouais. It's like sewing clouds. I can't even see the material, it's so thin. One leg. Must be very concentrated to do that. I have to join the two parts of the dress.
You draw it?
Sorry?
Do you draw it? To paint it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. This is made with a pochoir.
Dan moet je toch vooral die boot passen.
Oh, you can see that when I show you a model made with that one. Used in a different way.
Super.
It's a back of
Dat is echt
larger.
Dat is echt Sarah-stijl.
So it's to. I studied it for jackets. I want to fix this in the back of the jacket, and then with the it should move with the movement of the arms. Yeah.
Het zal zich midden bewegen van de arm. Do you make it with stamps?
Pochoir. I don't know the word in English. Pochoir. You cut. You draw on a plastic film, and then you cut it and paint through
Right.
it. I paint that leg first. Sewing it moved. It changed the line. It's a way to underline the shape of the leg. I think I'll do it several times because it doesn't follow the material. I have to dry it step by step because otherwise the paints going through it will go on the parts I don't want. It's always much fun for me to paint. As soon as I start with this, I feel really enjoying. It's magic. And then when I take off the plastic, then I discover the drawing. Take this off to discover how it looks like. I can paint over when it's not okay. When I am not satisfied, then I turn around the idea, and sometimes I spend much time till I am really satisfied. What can I do? Oh, we can look at it. And the idea is that we can see the real leg through the drawing. I'm not satisfied with that dress. I have to start it all over again. To take off the paint, maybe. With washing it very quick, but sometimes when I make some spots, when I wash it, as soon I can take them away, but now it's too much. For tomorrow, maybe I make the front part again. I don't know if I find some time. I try to surprise myself, and that's what I'm looking for. Mettre en scène, I like to present my models in a more personal way. And as I worked for the circus and theater and for dance too, I made costumes for that. And I'm interested with giving life to my clothes, and I think it's important to the way it's presented. And I have some ideas about that, and I feel more sure with what I'm doing. I really believe in what I'm doing. And
On est pressé.
allez, 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 allez. I give much importance to the poetic part, to the artistic part, and also sensuality in the way of working with materials, and all the sensibility around that. And I think it's something very important. I have the idea to go in Bruxelles or in London and further in different towns, in Paris too, to make exhibitions with my models. But I like to do it in an informal way. It's always limits. I work on the limits, and that's what can be showed and what must be hid. I like that this game is just between. But the idea is not to make a sexy clothes. It's, I think, what's important for me. It's la fantaisie, and it's an happy side, I think, of my creation. Very free.
Ça marche plus. Ah, il y a un troisième pilier. Voilà, ça fera raffiner. Allez.
Oh. Surprenant. Waouh. Oh. Now I think I have to progress with the commercial part, because for now I considered that I was still studying, because as I study by myself, then I thought now I'm not ready yet. I have to study and try again. And now I think I'm satisfied with some models, but I'm more sure.
On va faire ça. Allez-y, profitez-en là parce que il fait chaud.
Ouais, allez, café, café, c'est l'heure.